The period of this tour and this album is sort of January, February 1977. Leading up to that, Rory had released the Against the Grain and Calling Card albums on Chrysalis Records and was at the height of his powers, and the band had been together for a number of years. Everyone just had a sort of great kind of connection, and they just improvised, and on stage live they were incredible at this point in time. And his songwriting was probably peaking as well. The Calling Card album, which he recorded in Germany with Roger Glover from Deep Purple producing, it's some of his sort of finest songs, from Edged in Blue, Calling Card. It's really great stuff, and he was kind of at that year of 77 really kind of top of his game. He was headlining festivals all over the place. He did Rock Blast that year, which was broadcast to about 50 million people around Europe. He put on the first ever festival in Ireland, open air festival in Ireland, which is the Edge's first ever concert. It was a really sort of top year for him. Yeah, Rory, he went to the very last Sex Pistols show in San Francisco. He was recording an album in San Francisco at the time, which he ended up putting in the bin. Not because of punk, but he really enjoyed the raw energy that, punk is just 50s rock and roll with a bit more grot on it, and which is, a huge part of Rory's background. There's the blues, and then his Eddie Cochran, and Buddy Holly, and that was his other favorite type of music. So he really got the musical roots of punk. And so he kind of sacked the band and went back to a three-piece, and that's his next couple of albums. He definitely went heavier, and he went back to sort of early rock and roll, 50s early rock and roll sound. So he was very aware of punk. He thought a lot of things were cool, and in his vinyl collection there's all sorts of stuff. And like I say, he saw their final show in San Francisco while he was making an album. So I'm sure a lot of people said they were there, but the producer of the album, said no, they both went, and it was an interesting night. I think also because he wasn't, I think the big thing for them was like the progs, like when everyone's wearing capes and have a trillion things, but Rory's whole image was a working man in a check shirt playing the same guitar that's beaten to shit. So it's hard to rebel against someone who looks like everyone, like Adam Ant was like, when we were kids, like we wanted to be Rory, that's how we dressed, before, and then he obviously went a lot more glamorous, and then, who from the Sex Pistols, like said when Nirvana came around, he goes, well, they just look like the Rory Gallagher fan club, because everyone else is saying, oh wow, grunge is this cool like outfit, and he's like, no, Rory did this years before.